This lesson will discuss creating a multidimensional array. The topics include how can you initialize a multidimensional array, how can you make a single assignment, and how can you access a single cell in a multidimensional array. Looking at the first code example, on line 6, you'll notice that we're using the array function in conjunction with the range function to produce a 10 by 10 matrix. Each range function will return an array of 10 elements. The range function is then repeated 10 times within the original array assignment. You'll notice on line 7 that the trailing comma after the last element in the array is optional. On line 11, we are creating a multi-dimensional associative array. The primary array has keys A, B, C, and D. Each key then itself represents a subarray where the array elements are referenced by strings, therefore making this a multidimensional associative array. On line 18, the array command itself can be nested as many times as are necessary to produce the appropriate results. In this example, we're creating a 3-dimensional array, so each array element is itself an array. Within that array is a subarray of 3 elements, repeated 3 times. On lines 24 through the end, we display the results. Let's move now to the browser and have a look at the results of the assignments. So as you can see, our 10 by 10 matrix, array elements 0, 1, 2, etc. are themselves an array representing 10 elements. In the multidimensional associative array, the keys are represented as A, B, C, and D. Each key itself represents a subarray with keys AA, AB, AC, etc. And finally, on the right side, you can see a 3-dimensional array, which is 3 by 3. So each outer array represents an inner array, and each inner array itself has another 3 elements. Moving down the screen, you can see the results of the assignments. The next question is how to make a single assignment. So we turn now to the second code example. The way to make a single assignment is to represent the keys using a successive series of square brackets. So again, on line 7, we create a 3 by 3 matrix. We then make an assignment to the middle element by referencing $matrix, square bracket 1, square bracket 1. On line 13, we assign a value at the end of row 0. So element 0 itself is an array. By putting the empty square brackets after the reference to element 0, this will create a new element at the end of the 0 element of the array. On line 18, we create a 2 by 2 array, in this case an associative array. And to assign a value to the top right, we reference the element above, followed by the element right, which will then reassign this value that you can see on line 18, originally B. It will now be reassigned to top right. And finally, on line 27, we're adding a new layer to the 2 by 2 array. We create a new primary element sub, which will then go underneath, above, and below, adding an additional array to the array 2 by 2. Moving over to the browser, let's have a look at the result of this assignment. So as you can see, our 3 by 3 array, we've added a new element at the end of row 0, and we've reassigned the element 1, 1 to read middle. On to the second array. You can see we had a 2 by 2 array originally, and we reassigned the top right to a new value. And on the last example, we added a new array underneath, above, and below called sub. You already have some idea how to access a single element within an array, so we will repeat this, but in a slightly different form. On line 7, we create a 3 by 3 matrix, again an array of arrays. Each array element has its own arrays, representing values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We then do a var dump to see the results. And to reference a single element, you simply indicate the array and the keys in order successively. So moving over to the browser, let's have a look at the third example. So as you can see, we have a 3 by 3 array. We are referencing element 1, 1, which returns a value of 5. To review, how can you initialize a multidimensional array? You can use the array command nested with other array commands. How can you make a single assignment? You reference the array with a successive series of square brackets, enough needed to properly represent that particular element, and simply assign a value. How do you access a single cell in a multidimensional array? You reference the array with a successive series of square brackets with their appropriate keys. This concludes our discussion of creating a multidimensional array.